everyone. Good morning. This is Sangeeta, Assistant Professor, ECE Department, SNS College of Technology, Coimbatore. So, can you guess what is the topic today? Refer this image and can you tell me the topic? Yes, it is oscillator. So here I have given oscillations and waveform. So before going to the topic, let us have a small recap about our previous class. So in the previous class we discussed about BJT. So one of the main application of BJT is an amplifier. So for acting as amplifier, the BJT should be connected in active region and there are three configurations can be used. So the BJT should be in common emitter configuration. So let us move on to the topic. So what is oscillator? So oscillator is a circuit which produces different types of waveforms: sine waveform, cosine waveform, square waveform, triangle waveform. But without giving any external input, it can produce the output. So why it is, how it is possible? Because in oscillator we are using the main components amplifier and positive feedback network. So due to the thermal noise produced in the components in the feedback network, the oscillator itself can produce different types of waveforms. So let us discuss the feedback. So what is meant by feedback? So feedback is nothing but the fraction of output is fed back to the input. It is called feedback. So there are two types of feedback. One is positive feedback and another one is negative feedback. So in oscillator we are using positive feedback and the negative feedback is used operational amplifier. So in positive feedback the input signal and the feedback signal are added and the output is in phase with the input signal. Whereas in negative feedback, the input signal and the feedback signal is subtracted and the output waveform is out of phase with the input signal. Here it is clearly given. So the input is given to the amplifier and the output of the amplifier is, that is the main function of the amplifier is strengthen the input signal, and the output is given back to the feedback circuit, and finally it is added again, it is fed back to the input and it is added. Okay, here the beta is the feedback factor, how much signal is fed back is given and or represented as beta. And so Barkhosen criterion. So how the oscillations are produced? So is there any condition? Yes, there are two conditions. That conditions are called Barkhosen criterion. So it is a mathematical condition which is used to determine the oscillation frequency. So frequency is number of oscillations per second. So there are two conditions. The one is the loop gain is equal to unity in absolute magnitude, that is A beta is equal to 1. That is, A means the gain of the amplifier, beta is the feedback fraction. So the product of the magnitude of product of A and B should be equal to unity. And the next condition is the phase shift around the loop should be 0 or integral multiple of 2 pi or 360 degree. So these are the two conditions. If these conditions are not met, the oscillator should not give the sustained oscillation. So let us see the conditions. So the first condition is if the A beta greater than 1, the circuit gives the growing type oscillation. It is clearly shown in the image. So when the total phase shift around a loop is 0 degree or 360 degree, and if it is more than 1, then the output oscillates, but the oscillations are of growing type. And the next condition is if A beta is equal to 1, that is when the total phase shift around the loop is 0 or 360, then the oscillations are with constant frequency amplitude called sustained oscillation. Here the word you should remind constant frequency, that is called sustained oscillation. And if the A beta greater than 1, when the total phase shift around a loop is greater than 1, then the oscillations are of decaying type. So it is also shown in figure, that is such oscillation amplitude decreases exponentially and the oscillation finally ceases. So these are the three conditions. So for sustained oscillation, the two conditions should be met, and that conditions are called Barkhausen criterion. So this is the question time, and my question was what is positive feedback, and what are the two conditions of Barkhausen criterion. So hope this video will help you to understand the basics of oscillator. Thank you, and you can submit the answer in the next class. Thank you.